Hey crew, it's Pitt, and I'm back with the birthday tarot for July the 31st of 2025. We will be pulling 8 cards from the Divine Feminine, 8 cards from the Divine Masculine in accordance with the 8 Divine Chakras, or the 8 human chakras, so that we can get a better understanding of how best to manifest our life in accordance with Spirit to bring about our best timeline. I've already done a pre-shuffle on the cards, but I like to get a couple more just to make sure that everything is exactly where Spirit wants it to be. And so now we will begin pulling, beginning with the base. In the base, we have the Ten of Wands. In the sacral, we have the Hermit in reverse. In the solar plexus, we have the Queen of Cups. In the heart, we have the Five of Pentacles. In the third eye, we have the Nine of Wands. In the throat, we have the Knight of Cups. And in the crown, we have the Nine of Swords. And rounding out our message from the Divine Feminine on the bottom of the deck, we have the Five of Swords. Next, we'll be pulling 8 cards from the Divine Masculine. The Divine Feminine, the cards that are already on the table, they tell us what the current situation is. The Divine Masculine tells us what we can do, what steps we can take, and what actions may be advised in order to best manifest our highest timeline in accordance with Spirit. And so with this shuffle, we will go ahead and begin pulling cards, beginning with the crown. And in the crown, we have the Page of Wands. In the third eye, we have the Hangman. In the throat, we have the Temperance in reverse. In the heart, we have the Seven of Swords in reverse. In the solar plexus, we have the Devil in reverse. In the sacral, we have the Three of Swords in reverse. And in the base, we have the Emperor in reverse. And rounding out our deck, or our message from the Divine Masculine on the bottom of the deck, we have the Magician in reverse. Alright, let's dive in and see what Spirit is letting us know today. We begin in the base because that is base existence. Do you have a home? Do you have a job? Do you have food? Do you have money? All of that is contained in the base. This is the area that deals with love and wrath. So you may be feeling giving away a little bit too much affection, or you may not be receiving the affection that you feel like you deserve. Neither one is entirely good. You have the Ten of Wands. Wands is about change. It is spirit, fire, life, light, logos, and change. And so this is a card of change. This is a 10, and a 10 is about learning the higher path. 1 through 7 is the lower path. 8 through 14 is the higher path. This is learning about it. This is getting a better source of information. This is a hard work and diligence card. You can see that he is bearing a load. He has all 10 wands in his arms, but it's not a load that he cannot bear. He is walking forward towards his home in the distance. This is continue working. Keep your head down. Everything is going according to plan. You just need to learn a little bit more about some change. Now, clarifying that with some steps that can be taken from the Divine Masculine is stepping into your authority. Not quite. Right. This is the Emperor card, and the Emperor is a 4, which is an understanding card. But he is seated on his throne of authority. He has various accoutrements around him. But this is a Divine Masculine. This is the first real Divine Masculine in the deck, or in the major arcana, right? This is feeling your authority, but not really being the authority quite yet. The Emperor might seem like the authority, and he is in a position of authority, but he's not reached the fullness of the authority that will come later in the deck. What he is somebody seeking understanding. That's what a 4 is. Now, you have hard work and diligence that you are on. It is a path of change, and there is something new to learn about it. This is an understanding, right, that you do not quite have yet, or you are to reach. When it is upright, this is an understanding that you are reaching in your authority. When it is like this, then maybe you are in a position of learning from someone else. This is a little bit less of a masculine authority position, not quite into the Divine Feminine, but not in the full mastery of self. And so these two together seem to be that your job is going well, that there is change happening. This can be your home life. It can be the house that you own. It can be the food that you eat, right? But there is change happening. It is a positive change, but there is something that you need to learn so that you can understand. Next up is the sacral, and the sacral is the area of physical generation. It can be children because it is tied to lust and chastity. Giving away too much physical affection, not receiving enough physical affection. Neither one of those are intrinsically good. Your current situation is that you need to come out of isolation. The Hermit card is the card of isolation. This is having the knowledge, being on top of the mountain, being the resource that people can come to. This is a 9 card, and a 9 is a choice card. It is a choice on the higher path. It is linked to the second path, so it's dealing with thoughts and ideas, communication. He is standing on top of the mountain when he is standing tall. This is frozen underneath him. One of the traditional interpretations is that he cannot come down off the mountain because his feet are frozen. He has all of the knowledge in the world contained in the lamp. He is the authority on top of the mountain that people go and seek out. When this card presents itself in the upright position, this is a isolate yourself. Take some time for yourself. Reinforce your self-worth. That type of an energy. When it is in the reverse, it's the opposite of that. Come out of isolation. This is your current situation. You are probably feeling a little bit isolated. You're feeling like you need some more connections. You need more people in your life. You're feeling a little bit isolated, and this is telling you that you need to come out of isolation. And that is being clarified by the 3 of Swords in reverse. Now, the 3 of Swords, when it is standing tall, many people interpret as it is interpreted as a betrayal, right? The heart has been stabbed 3 times. Heartbreak, betrayal. I don't necessarily look at it that way, but that is one of the interpretations. 3s are either about a spirit of cooperation or a spirit of not cooperating. Right? The 3 of Cups is a spirit of cooperation. They are all gathered around holding their cups high and celebrating. This is a card of not cooperating, right? It's related to ideas because it is swords, and swords are soul, air, thought, intellect, and communications. And so this is a communication sword. This is a communication sword as well. This is the 9, therefore it is tied to the 2, the choice. This is the next step past that, right? Well, actually, it's not. It's tied to the 9. But this is a learning situation. 3s are about learning, but this is you learning a hard lesson when it is upright. When it is like this is less of that, right? This is not being betrayed. This is a spirit of cooperation. This is betrayal, not cooperating. This is not being betrayed, cooperating. And so you are being told here, you need to come out of isolation with the Hermit in reverse. You're not being betrayed, right? You may have a feeling like someone has betrayed you, right? That might be the understanding that you are not having. This is, you need to be cooperating with someone. You need to find someone to cooperate with. Now, I wouldn't try too very hard unless we get some further clarification for that, but you do need to come out of isolation. You are standing on the mountain, and that is preventing people from being able to find you to cooperate with you. And so you have come out of isolation, and this is kind of a reiteration of come out of isolation, right? You're not being betrayed. It's going to be okay to make emotional connections. This is tied to communications or ideas. This being a sword and this being a sword, it is probably going to be dealing with an idea. This is the area of physical generation. It is not necessarily just sexual generation, though. You envision your future here. You manifest it in your heart, but you put it into action here. This is you taking physical steps in the physical plane to do physical things. And so this is you physically removing yourself from isolation. You may be stuck in a room playing video games all day. That is not the right way to act, right? There is a time for video games. There is a time for recreation. It is not all of the time. You should not be spending all of your time doing so. That's the same for reading. That's the same for studying, watching YouTube. doing tarot, any of that. None of it should consume your life, right? Life is meant to be balanced. There is no balance in isolating yourself. There are times when you should. This is not one of those times. Next, we're going to move to the solar plexus, and the solar plexus is quite literally what changes your food into fuel. It's tied to your stomach. It is dealing with temperance and gluttony. And so maybe you're over consuming some things on the mortal coil. Maybe you're under consuming some things on the mortal coil. Neither one are particularly good. You have the Queen of Cups. This is a nurturing card. This is you have overcome a challenge. And maybe it'd be a challenge in your very recent past, and you have overcome it. Now, this area, the solar plexus, is what drives all of the rest, right? You consume energy here, it gets transformed into energy here. And this energy drives your base existence. This energy drives the steps that you are taking in your life. This energy drives your ability to manifest. It drives your ability to communicate. This is where all of your fuel comes from. And so this is a nurturing card of an emotional connection, right? Cups are about emotions. They are, it is body, spirit, as opposed to pentacles being body. This is more of a spiritual side of things. This is the emotional side of things. This is familial relationships. This is spousal relationships. This is co-worker relationships. And it is just your friend group. But it's not the people. It's the emotional connections. And this is telling you that you need to, in your current situation, nurture some emotional connections, right? It is a cup. A cup is about the emotions. It is a queen, and a queen is about overcoming and nurturing. You have a challenge with the knight. You overcome that. You become the queen, but you're not quite ready for the king. The king is the harvest. This is the period between planting and harvest, when you nurture the crops. You weed the garden, you water the garden, you fertilize the garden. You're nurturing. This is nurturing an emotional connection. Now, that is clarified with steps that can be taken with a temptation card. Now, when this is standing tall, this is the temptations of life. This is overcoming the temptations of life. This is a 15, and a 15 is going to be realizing that there is the highest path. This is aligned with the path of cups. The first path is pentacles. The second path is swords, right? Body and mind. And then you get control of your emotions. This is realizing the path of control of emotions. And so you have a nurture and emotion card here, and you have a realization of a path of emotions here. This is about overcoming when it is upright. This is about succumbing when it is in the reverse, right? This is giving in to temptation. Not entirely, but a little bit. We have a tendency sometimes to overcompensate, right? People may think that, for instance, your religion may say that it's not okay to ever drink alcohol. Well, it is. Man has co-evolved with alcohol, but alcohol should not be the course of your life. You should not be looking forward every day to getting off of work and drinking. If so, your job probably sucks. You need a new job, right? But it is perfectly fine to have a drink in companionship and relax. Not to the point of excess where you're throwing up or passing out, but to the point where you're relaxed and you're enjoying yourself. You're coming out of that hermit energy, right? That can be what this is. That is you nurturing an emotional connection, coming out of your energy, coming out of your hermit energy. And this is giving into the temptation a little bit. Not to the excess, not to cleave to the dark side of things, but there is a balance to be stricken. You are not meant to walk completely chaste. Next, we're going to move into the area of the heart, and the heart is what you are trying to manifest in your life. Even if it might seem like it's a little bit negative. Sometimes the negative has to happen before the positive can come through. The heart is the area that is going to govern greed and charity. And so greed is clinging a little bit to the mortal coil, loving the things just a little bit too much. It is part of the lower trinity, the as below. Charity is tied to the as above trinity. It is more in the spiritual side of things. It is loving things a little bit too little. It is giving away all of the things, and that's not good. You are meant to have things, just not all of the things. You're supposed to give things away, just not all of the things. Now, you're facing a challenge. This is in the center of the read. This is the heart. This is what you are manifesting in your life, even if you do not realize that that is what you are trying to bring in your life. This is a challenge on the physical plane. This has got pentacles. Pentacles is, do you have a job? Do you have a food? Do you have a home? Are you provided for? Do you have money? That is all in the area of pentacles. And so what you are bringing about in your life is a difficulty. Now, we have this 10 down here, and that is learning a new path. That's a little bit difficult. He's under a load, right? You're coming out of your comfort zone. That's a little bit difficult. That's a challenge. You're nurturing some energies that you're not used to. You're succumbing to the temptation, and you're not used to that. All of that is a challenge, right? This can be deprivation. It is in the area of greed and charity. You might be clinging a little bit too much to the money, and there is nothing that will make the money run away faster than holding on to it a little bit too much. If you are being greedy, you will drive away all of the benefits of life. That is a real thing. And so this can be that, right? This can be you clinging to the mortal coil just a little bit too much, investing a little bit too much in that. But what you are trying to bring about in your life is a change. It is a challenge, right? The only way to enact change is to go through the challenge. If you don't have challenges in your life, there is no growth. If there is no challenge, there is no change. And so you're trying to bring about a challenge because you want a change. Now, what we have clarifying with steps that can be taken, continue on the path. This is the harvest card for the ideas, right? This is finding a different way around a situation. This guy is being victorious. He has defeated his enemies, but he didn't have to fight them. He tricked them. He snuck into their town back here and stole their ability to defend themselves, right? He's not attacking directly. He is attacking indirectly. This is finding a new way around things. This is a new perspective. Not as much of a new perspective as the Hanged Man, but very much a new perspective. It is about thoughts and ideas. It is dealing with the swords. And so, when it is upright, this is you finding a new way around a situation. When it is in the reverse, this is kind of a keep going. This is kind of a, you're almost to the completion. Otherwise, it would not be a harvest card. It would be something else. You have this challenge, and in order to meet the challenge currently in your life that you want to bring into it, you have to just keep going. You have to keep the idea moving. You have to keep walking forward with the idea. This is not finding a new way around it. If it was, it would be upright. This is you already have the way. You just have to continue doing it. Now, that is fully dependent upon you coming out of your comfort zone, right? You're working diligently towards some change. You're trying to understand some emotional situation. You're trying to come out of your isolation, right? But there is a challenge, and that challenge is related to an idea. Next, we're going to move to the area of the throat, and this is what deals with pride and humility. It is the area of communication. You may be taking too much pride in your work. You may be taking not enough pride in your work, spreading the credit around a little bit too much. You should take credit for yourself, for the things that you have done. Don't try to take credit for other people's things, and don't try to give away credit for what you have done. You should be proud of yourself, but not to the point where you think you are better than anyone. You have the Knight of Cups. This is a challenge card, right? This is the reiteration of the 5 on a higher level, right? The 5 is the challenge on the base level. The Knight is the challenge on the higher level, the greater understanding. This is about emotional connections. Now, you have over here on the right-hand path, you've got the Queen of Cups, which is nurturing an emotional connection, and you have a connection with a problem. I wonder if maybe you need to nurture it. Now, he is moving forward. He is making progress. The horse's feet are moving, but he's not charging. He's not moving fast. It's slow. It's methodical. It's continuing the same path. He's got the cup in front of him. That is emotional connections, and he is contemplating them. He is rising to the challenge because knights are about rising to the challenge. And so this, in the obverse, which it is stating that you need to rise to a challenge about an emotional connection currently in your life. And what does that require from you? What steps can you take from the Divine Masculine? become a little unbalanced. I wonder if that is a reiteration of something. When this is standing tall, this is a card of finding balance. This is a card of making balance. She is crowned in her glory, but she is pouring the waters of life between two cups, equally distributing them. She has 1 foot on the water, 1 foot on the earth, equally distributing. She has a crown of divine back here. She has the flowers of victory behind her. This is a fair and equitable card, right? This is find the equal distribution. This is a little bit less, right? This is temperance, don't partake. This is a little bit less. Now, if we look at the right-hand path together, what do we got? We've got an emotional situation that you need some understanding and nurturing in, and you've got an emotional challenge that you need to rise to meet. You have a temptation that you are not meant to overcome, and you have temperance that you are not meant to partake in. This is definitely leading me to believe that you need to relax a little bit in one of the vices, right? Probably the virtues as well, but you are taking a little bit of pride in that you don't partake in a certain thing, and there is no reason to have pride in that, right? Everybody is meant to use the virtues and the vices in equal measure with balance, right? There is a time for everything, including the vices. Next up, we're going to move to the area of the third eye. That is where you envision your future. This is what you want to bring into your life. You envision it, you manifest it, you take positive steps towards it. This is the area that deals with sloth and diligence. So are you working towards your goals, or do you just expect them to happen by themselves? That is not going to happen. You have to take positive steps if you want to manifest. That is one of the rules. What we have is the Nine of Wands in the reverse. Nines are choices. You are not to be making this choice, right? Possibly. This is a choice about change. It is a Wands card. Wands are about change. You've got the 10. That is the next card up from this. When it is standing tall, this is a defensive card. Defend your position. Make a choice with the understanding, right? It is a 9, so it is a choice. Now, he has his wand of change, and these are the ones that he has defeated, but it cost him. He's got his head wrapped in a bandage right there. And so it was a long, hard fight. This is the current situation for you, and you're not necessarily involved in that particular energy, right? When this is standing tall, this is a make a choice about a situation. When it is like this, it is a don't make a choice. When it is standing tall, the choice is presenting itself. You are meant to have it. When it is in the reverse, something else is needed. There is something left before the choice can happen. And for you, that's going to be a change of perspective. Right? Now you have this, don't find a new way around something here in your heart. This is a challenge that you need to rise to and not find a way around. This, you do, right? This is finding a new perspective. This is envisioning your future. This is thoughts and ideas. This is how you see your future with your desire attached. You need a new perspective so that you can make the choice. If you want to turn this card around, you've got to do this. And what you have to do here, you have to have a new perspective. This guy has hung himself on the pole. He has put himself in this position so that he can attain this enlightenment. That light around his head, he has enlightenment. He got that by willingly putting himself in an uncomfortable position. Now, what do you have here? Get in an uncomfortable position. Come out of isolation. Get in an uncomfortable position. If you want to manifest this, you got to do this. Next up, we're going to move to the crown, and the crown is where you interpret what the divine is telling you. You get a message from the divine, it filters through your crown, and you feel responsible for this particular area. This is the area that governs hope and despair. So if you are making alchemical gold, even though everything seems to be terrible, this is where that area of responsibility is. If you are choosing depression, even though everything is going correct, this is where that area of responsibility is. And you have, that's the 8. The 8 of Swords. This is self-imposed restrictions, right? She has been taken captive. She has her hands behind her back. She has a blindfold on. She cannot see her surroundings. She doesn't know that all of the attackers are gone, There are still swords. They're all in the past. She is being held there because she does not realize that there is something else. This is the realization of a path. 8 are the new path. 7 is the harvest. 8 is what you do with that harvest. I got all of these returns. Now what do? Oh, look, it's an investment opportunity right there. That's an 8, right? And this is a new thought, new idea, right? So you have this idea here and you have this idea here. This is possibly that you are holding yourself back with an idea. Again, this is a self-imposed restriction. You may be feeling despondent, despair, even though the situation is not terrible, right? It's not great. You're in the middle of a challenge. You're isolated from everything. You don't have an understanding of an emotion, right? You have a challenge in your emotions, dealing with communications. So it's not like the best of times, but you're not realizing that there is a higher path. There is a higher idea. There is more that can be done. This is going to tie in. What does this tie in with? This is the, well, I would have to have it in front of me, but this is going to tie into the 9 in the, the 8 in the higher arcana. And so, I feel like we have that out there somewhere, but I don't know where to look for it. That happens sometimes. That's the 7. What is, oh well, regardless, right? This is you coming out of self-isolation, right? You have restricted yourself. Right? She's been taken captive, but she is no longer captive. She is remaining captive because she's not seeing the new perspective. You got a new perspective. You got to come out of isolation. This is a reiteration. Now, clarifying with steps that can be taken is understanding the change. Pages are about understanding, right? You have a lesson that you just learned. You're not quite ready to meet the challenge yet. You got some understanding to do. This is an understanding about a change. It is dealing with a wand. And so there is change that you are manifesting in your life, right? You want change. You got this 8 here. And so you've got this 10 here. This is a heavy change energy. But you need to understand it to be able to fully realize it. If you want to come out of this self-imposed restriction, then you need to understand this change. Finally, we're going to come to the divine. The divine is not colored by any of the virtues and vices. It is completely free of those. The divine partakes of the virtues and vices in equal measure. And what do we have? We've got a challenge, right? The divine is telling you that you are currently going through a challenge about an idea. Now, if this was upright, it would be rise to meet the challenge, but it is not. It is in the reverse. That means that the challenge is unfolding, but it's not up to you to rise to meet it, necessarily. You're always required to meet it at least a little bit, but sometimes you need to be more aggressive than others. If this is standing tall, this is a victory card, right? He has already defeated these people who were walking away. He has collected their swords. He is victorious. You're not quite victorious. You are in the middle of a challenge. That challenge is dealing with thoughts and ideas or a communication, and you are not meant to aggressively meet it. Now, that is being clarified with actions that can be taken with the magician. The magician standing tall is realizing that you have the higher path at all, right? This is the equivalent of an 8 of Pentacles. This is the first part of the major arcana, right? You have the Fool, and the Fool is the key to the entire tarot. This is the key to the arcana. This is you realizing, oh wait, I can become a magician? I can manifest? I can do magic? That's this card. This is you realizing that. You've got it in the reverse. It's not you realizing that. You are a magician. Everybody is. But if you haven't realized that, you cannot claim it. This is a position of authority, right? He has infinity over his head, all the infinite possibilities. He is raising the athame of change, and the as above. He is pointed to the as below. He has arrayed before him all of the instruments of magic on the altar. He is fully prepared and equipped. You have a little preparation left. You are realizing that there is a path, but you are not taking the path as of yet. You You're not stepping into the authorship of your magicianship, and you can. Now, if we take these two cards together in consideration with all of the rest, what we're looking at is that you're facing a difficult situation relating to an idea, and that you are not to actively reach out for that, right? The situation is unfolding. It's not a betrayal situation. You do have to come out of isolation. You do have to consider some emotions that may be a little bit hard, but you're not to rise and ride out to meet the challenge. The challenge is coming to you. You are currently engaged in it. You are not to ride into a position of authority. This is a very, not necessarily passive, right? Because you are called to do some things. You are meant to come out of isolation. You're meant to relax a little bit. This is resting in the authority of you are right every time. This is full magicianship, full ability to manifest, and you're not quite there. And so there is a little bit of work left to be done. That's going to bring us to the end of the reading, and hopefully I brought a little bit of enlightenment and not too much confusion. If you like what I'm doing over here, let me know down below. Give me a like, a share, a follow. Throw me a comment. If you agree or disagree with anything that was said, put it in the box down below, and if it remains respectful, it gets to remain up. If you really like what I'm doing, hit me with that super thanks. Consider joining for a membership or picking up a copy of my book where I teach you to do magic responsibly. If you want to manifest, I've got the instruction manual. To the crew, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate every single minute that you are here with me, and I am praying for you every single day. Until next time, I love you. God loves you. You are perfect, whole, and complete just the way that you are. And this has been Pit Steak. Peace.